Hi, and welcome back to On the Volley, or as we like to be known, OTV. Welcome to Rome. And to start with, we're going to cover the England magical win against Germany, lads. Yeah, come on. Right, well, what are our thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we predicted before the game. I think we all predicted we win, so we all did very well. Round of applause to us. When we saw the team sheet, I think we all thought, that sounds a bit too negative. But the boys did all right and did a more than all right.
Hold on, you thought 3-4-3 was negative. I thought that was more of an attacking formation.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like there was 7 outfield defensive players there. So it was the team.
Yeah.
So, although I must say, Shaw and Trippier did do a decent job as wingers. Albeit more defensive wingers. But yeah, I mean, we can't criticise Gareth Southgate now. In terms of his tactics, the way he's managed the team to get to this point. We can all just get behind him and just say, "Go on, keep on doing it."
Yeah.
What do you think, Eba? I've got my thoughts and I'll come out with it after.
Well, I was quite happy with the formation that we played. I mean, prior games, we seemed very cautious in the first games in the group stage. But I was quite happy with the fact that we played that formation. I honestly thought that the back three were amazing.
Yeah.
I thought Maguire and Stones and Walker, I thought they did really well. And let's not forget Pickford as well. Made some absolutely world-class saves.
Two saves at 0-0, I think, which
was massively important.
Well, I think what we need to look at is we haven't let a goal in.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I've been a major critic. I won't say critic, that's maybe a little bit too far, yeah? But I have come out and said that I wasn't sure.
That's going too far.
No. I did say that I wasn't convinced about him. I wasn't sure about him. So yeah, I criticised him. I won't say I was a major critic. Okay, right, but I did criticise Gareth Southgate. I always get it wrong. But he's got me believing. So.
I think. I know in the first half we seemed very cautious in the first half, which was a good thing. You know what I mean? But we opened them up in the end. I wasn't sure about that back pass from Sterling, like.
Yeah, I mean, he just caught him a bit unawares, didn't he? Really? And that could have been 1-1 at that point. But I think Sterling, he's grown into the sort. I think he had a bit of a bad end to the season at City, and I think his confidence was a bit low and. He's grown, a few goals. It's amazing how that can transform a player from someone who's having a bit of a dodgy spell. And I thought, he's making those runs now that he used to do for City and England, and he's getting to the right position. Obviously, getting another goal. He's got 3 goals to his name. I don't think anyone in their right mind is going to say now Sterling doesn't deserve his place in the team.
I said in the group games that I wouldn't start him, and I was wrong. Gareth Southgate stuck with him. And he did the right choice, and you're right. He scored a couple of goals, he's brought his confidence up, okay, and he's playing like the Sterling of old. Look, we haven't beaten Germany in a knockout competition in 55 years. Okay, so that is a major event. Totally. That is a major result.
Totally. It's a massive result. I suppose they're kind of like a derby for us, aren't they? It's a derby.
Well,
in a way,
it's more like yes, but it's when you're in the city, one team's been more successful than the other. So it's like Everton in Merseyside. It's like City used to be in Manchester. It's one of those. I guess like Tottenham are in North London. It's one of those where you've always been the poorer cousin. Yeah. So it's for us.
They are our cousins.
It's nice to get a one over on them,
They are our cousins, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
I'm not too sure they're my cousins. Okay, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm English, but I don't know if they're really my cousins. Okay. I mean, I got a load of German friends, but we don't seem to be related. Anyway, let's go on to Ukraine. Ukraine beat Sweden.
Yes.
Okay, 2-1, extra time. You know, Sweden got a player sent off, and did that change the game?
From what I saw, I mean, it was basically Ukraine went ahead and then thought, right, you know, let's make sure we don't make any defensive errors, and just sort of like not sat back, but you know, still had a few goals. But Sweden were probably the better team. But then obviously a red card just changed the game. But you know, they scored 121st minute to win it, saving themselves the drama of penalties.
Or penalties, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I wish England had done that a few times in my life, you know. But I mean, fair credit. Got out of the group, tough enough group for them, and now they're in the quarterfinals. So let's not underestimate.
They deserve their position. They deserve being in the quarterfinals. So
they fought through it and they got there. They've done it. I mean, it was interesting. I mean, right at the end there was another bit of action right at the end with Zlatan, and he had that glorious chance, didn't he? He hit it on the volley, and he hit it straight at the keeper in the end. But he did have that chance to try and make it 2-2.
I feel for him. I really feel for him. Yeah, because he's such a nice chap usually.
He is. He's lovely. Yeah.
very.
But no, well done the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Well
Doesn't
done.
have an ego at all. Very humble. All right, so I think we all agree that Ukraine deserved to go through. You know, I mean, I feel sorry for Sweden, but it is what it is. Let's go on to the quarterfinals. Today we have a big game. I would call it a big game because we've got Switzerland against Spain, and Switzerland caused a major upset when they beat France on penalties.
Yeah. It was a big upset, and you know, it looked like it was a funny game, that wasn't it? Because Switzerland had the chance to go 2-0 up with a penalty, and then all of a sudden it went 3-1 to France.
And we thought it was over.
Yeah. Pogba started doing a few like little showboating tricks. Seemed like France thought they were through, and they weren't. And unfortunately for France, they went out. Not unfortunate for me, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Penalties is a lottery, as we know. And well done to Switzerland, really, for getting to where they have.
Fought together, didn't they, as a team? So
They did.
When they come up against Spain, you know, it's our Spain. You know, Spain can't take it for granted that they're going to go through.
No.
Just as England can't against Ukraine.
Well, Spain, if you look, okay, right, it reflected the France game because Croatia went 1-0 up. Spain went 3-1 up.
Yeah.
And then Croatia come back to 3-3. Both games finished 3-3 at the end of full time. Yeah. So, and Spain haven't impressed me this tournament. So, I don't know if Switzerland played like they have been playing. I think they've got a good chance. What do you lot think?
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, you're right what you've said about Spain. I think if Switzerland do what they did against France, stick together as a team, work hard together, I think they can upset Spain. I really think they
Especially
can.
in the last 10 minutes. It was the last 10 minutes that really defined that game. You know,
Right.
France thought they were through. Switzerland just thought, you know, absolutely do not disrespect us.
Yeah.
And you could see Switzerland's confidence and teamwork just went up through the roof, and France was still thinking we're still through. You know, I think even at 3-2 they still thought, we're through.
Yeah, exactly.
And Switzerland were like, you're not through yet, and they just were dogged, and they got the job done.
I think France, when they went to penalties, they thought they were through.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
And it's always the person you think that's not going to make a mistake, that's not going to miss a penalty, that misses it. Mbappe.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I mean, I think France took it for granted a bit too much.
I criticised Pogba before, but actually Pogba had a really good game up until 80 minutes.
He did, yeah.
And he had put Mbappe in. 2 or 3 times, hasn't he? With his beautiful balls, scored a beauty as well. I mean, for me, one of the goals of the tournament, without a doubt. Mbappe had a few opportunities and missed them. So maybe he was just a bit on a bit of a downside of his overall game in the 120 minutes.
Well, let's go to the bread and butter of this, okay, right? And I'm going to start off with keeper this time. Keeper.
This is Spain. Sorry, so we're talking about France there, but yeah, Spain. We're talking about Spain. We're actually supposed to be talking about Switzerland and Spain, aren't we? So yeah.
So we're going to the bread and butter now, yeah. So keeper, who do you think's going to win between Switzerland and Spain, and what do you think the score's going to be?
It's a hard one to call. I mean, my heart really goes maybe with Spain, because on paper they're a better team. They are a better team, but Switzerland have proved us wrong. I think Spain will edge it, and I think Spain will win 2-1.
Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think Spain are the better collection of players.
Yes.
I think Switzerland are the better team.
Right.
I think you probably meant that.
I understand what you're saying.
I think that's also probably what.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. But I think Spain have got too many cannons for Switzerland to deal with. Possibly a few more than France as well. But I think it will be tight. I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park for Spain. I think it could be 1-1 at full time. But I think Spain will probably just edge it if it's by a goal in extra time.
Okay, so who do you think is going to win, and what do you think?
Spain. So 1-1 at full time. Spain either 2-1 in extra time or penalties.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And you, Sean?
Spain.
So Spain outright like that.
Spain are going to win in the 90 minutes.
Bit of Viva España, like.
I think it'll be 3-1 to Spain.
3-1 to Spain.
I think Spain have probably got the better collection of players. They haven't impressed. They haven't been playing that well. But maybe they're just going to wake up. They're under a lot of pressure, especially from the Spanish public.
Of course.
So I have a feeling we're going to see a different Spain. That's my prediction. Anyway.
It's different though, isn't it? It's different from being under expectation from the public and having the public behind you. Being under expectation for the public doesn't necessarily bring you the right result. So, I mean, for me...
What are you talking about if you're an underdog?
Well, yeah, I mean, Switzerland probably got the public behind them.
They're not expecting.
No,
they didn't expect them to get this far. They didn't expect them to win, against France. So if you have low expectations and you win, I guess
well, everything's
more
a plus,
euphoria.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's more
when you've
euphoria.
got low expectations, I mean, everything's a plus. If it goes your way, it's win-win-win, isn't it? For that crowd. But I think Shaw's right. I mean, I think in Spain, I think it's more of a pressure thing from the public.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they expect.
You were right. Yeah.
They're sort of like they're putting pressure on from them underachieving. So it's like a negative pressure.
Yeah, and like you've just said, it's a negative pressure, and it sometimes works. Can work both ways, but
of course it
can work against you, you know.
Of course, we all agree on that.
So we move on to the next fixture, which is
I was about to say,
quite a big one.
England.
No, not England.
No,
what we're talking about. Oh man, that's tomorrow. I've got England on the brain. The reason I have England on the brain is because we were interviewed, and we were on Good Morning Britain this morning. We were interviewed by BBC News, so I've got that. And young Keeper here was interviewed by Keeper.
Radio Newcastle.
Radio Newcastle. I can't do the accent. You're going to have to teach me the accent.
You get killed in Newcastle if you try and do the accent.
I'm not that good. I can do a Northern accent, but I don't know where it's from. Okay, but it is that kind of Northern.
Do a Geordie Jamaican, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. No, I don't think so. Jamaican, yes. But anyway, let's talk about the game tonight. It's Belgium versus Italy. because we're concentrating on tonight, not tomorrow. So my apologies. Okay, Belgium versus Italy. now.
Big game.
It's a massive game. A massive game. Now, Italy didn't impress against Austria. Okay, 0-0 at full time. And then they showed their class. They won 2-0. But Austria could have won it in 90 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had
a goal disallowed as well.
They did.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did.
So,
And Austria did give them problems.
yeah.
They did give them problems.
They
And,
missed
you know,
shot opportunities which they had in front of goal, at least two.
I mean, Wales may have caused Italy more problems if they hadn't had a man sent off. So I don't know. Maybe that was Italy's first big test, against Austria. Obviously, we were playing against 10 men this time, so Italy looked not vulnerable, but they looked like they're beatable,
Yes.
So yeah,
But Belgium don't.
Italy, Belgium. I would say the pre-tournament favourites, because they were the number one ranked team in the world, which is Belgium, against the teams sort of like after the group stages favourite, which was Italy, because they obviously had some sunny performance here in Rome actually. So they've played on home turf all the time as well, which is also a massive advantage.
Absolutely.
Massive.
So yeah, Belgium haven't had that advantage. You've got an edge on the side of Belgium on this one, haven't you?
Well, I mean, Lukaku is
On fire.
he's an unbelievable striker, If they can silence him, I think, if they can keep him.
Well, if anyone can, Italy can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. I mean, they're great at parking the bus, aren't they? But still, at the same time, Italy have got. They've got it going forward. They've got some firepower, Immobile is very handy.
Well, exactly. So would you say they're good at parking the bus, or would you say they're tight in defence and still able to attack? Because parking the bus is one thing.
I think Italy are famous, and they can do it. They can go forward, hunt for that goal, get themselves in a good situation in the match, and then they can literally park the bus.
Yeah,
Very-
okay.
very-
And
okay.
they can absorb.
Yeah,
They're very
yeah,
strategic.
that
They're very strategic here in Italy.
Yes,
aren't they?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like that's almost as important in the game here in Italy as scoring goals and having great attacking flair.
Yeah.
Being strategic and that defensive strategy.
Well, strategy is fundamental in any game.
The technical aspects of the game are much more important to them than say sort of like a more free flowing sort of like total football sort of like style.
Listen, England have not let any goals in. Italy
No.
have only let in one.
Yeah.
So, defensively they're solid.
Italy are good. Italy are good,
And Italy have been on fire.
Yeah.
Apart from that game against Austria, they've been on fire.
But when they needed to, they produced the goals
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, what's your prediction?
So I'm
Who's going to win and what's the score?
I'm torn.
I'm torn.
You kind of convinced me here.
This is
You
why I
kinda
went to him
convinced
on
me. You
purpose
kinda convinced
first.
me. Because I thought really Belgium did look completely solid, but sometimes the team that always looks solid doesn't always win the next game. Italy have just a tournament experience. Belgium are almost a little bit like England in terms of previous tournaments where they like always end up like
A great
nearly boys.
team, the nearly boys. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just going to go with Italy because they've just got the experience and probably win it 2-0 in the
2-0.
normal time.
Keeper?
Well, I think it's going to be an attractive game. I think it's going to be a really good game to watch. There's going to be some good football, that's for sure. And like Matthew says, Belgium are the kind of nearly boys. They always just come a little bit short, don't they? At the end, they do so well,
So
and they
many good players.
just
But
don't quite
but
manage.
Remember, this is a new era
It is.
of
It is.
Belgian footballers.
It is.
So,
But
And they've had, in the previous tournaments, they've had decent players.
Yeah.
Really
I'm not
decent players.
saying they haven't.
And actually, you know, you look at some of the players in this team now, they're actually getting close to 30. I mean, that is their peak. You know, footballers,
Course,
26 to 30 probably is their peak. But they're at the other end of that spectrum, not the start of that spectrum.
Okay. So Keeper's going to answer.
Well, I honestly think, right? I honestly
He's
think.
deviated again. I'll deviate.
Honestly, I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it'll be very entertaining. I think if they can keep Lukaku quiet,
So who do you think's going to win?
I think it's going to be 1-1 after 90 minutes.
Okay.
And I think Italy are going to win it 2-1 in extra time.
Okay, you said 2-1.
2-0
90
to
minutes, 2-0.
2-0,
Yeah. But you were saying about, okay, sorry, because I know I said you're a deviator, and you are. Okay, right, but I'm going to
We
finish
need a
what you're saying.
deviator, though. We need
I
a
don't know,
deviator.
okay, right, you know, he does look deep.
Flipping in. You guys do it to me when I make my prediction. You kind of like come at me and so like and like put doubts in my mind. So I'm just doing the same back, you know.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, but we do need to.
I was going to say about
pull him
Lukaku when
in
he's
once
making his
in a while,
prediction,
yeah.
which because I was silenced, was he plays here in Italy. So the defenders here in Italy, who all play here in Italy,
Know him.
have him. Know him. They know how to play him.
Yeah, but he's been scoring goals here. He's been scoring goals
That's the
here.
flip side of it. He has been scoring goals.
Exactly.
And if he covered the form that he had at Everton before he went to Manchester United, when he was and looked like a world-class striker. So there is always those elements to take into account. And that's why it makes it such a difficult game to predict.
It's a massively difficult game to predict.
I agree.
And he's shirking it again.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, you know, I'm putting in my mind on working out.
I said 1-1 after 90 minutes. 2-1. Italy will
Look,
win it in extra time.
I'm going to go with Italy. It's hard to call, but I'm going to go with Italy because I want Italy to win because I've been living in Italy for so many years.
As I do.
You know, if none of the home nations are in, I support Italy. Okay, I'm a patriot. I've said this. You know, I'm English. You know, so, but I want Italy to win this game. So my heart, I'm going to go with my heart. Okay, Italy 3-1 in 90 minutes.
Well, you know, you could be right.
So none of us gone for a cagey game here.
No, I think it's going to be open.
Yeah. Well, actually, Roberto
I don't know.
Roberto Martinez doesn't have that style. Really.
I've kind of gone for a cagey game, though.
Yeah,
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah, he has.
90 minutes
Yeah.
and over the endurance and all of that.
You
Maybe
did say it'll be a very good game. So,
you know. But it will be a good game. It'll be a good game of football to watch, I think. Technically,
Absolutely,
anyway.
All right.
Anyway, lads, I think we've covered this segment.
Yes.
Okay, so from us, OTV, I'm supposed to do this, OTV. Okay, we'd like to thank you for watching. Yeah, it's just my style. We'd like to thank you for watching us. Okay, we'd like to thank the Shamrock Pub in Rome, who are hosting us. And if you can put your comments underneath, like and subscribe. From me, out.
From me, out.
And buonasera from me.
Oh,
Well, he's got a bit of lingo.
Yeah. Cheers, lads.
Cheers. I want you to cheers.
Yeah, well, you can't, yeah.